King of the Nerds first came out in 2013. The show is about a bunch of nerds compete to see who's the biggest loser. There are two teams, and they compete in a nerd war, where they have to do challenges to beat the other team. The losing team will have to pick 2 members to go into the nerd off, where one of them will be kicked out of the show. When 5 players are left, the teams get dissolved. Now normally I don't make these kinds of videos, but after seeing a clip of it on TikTok, I just couldn't help myself. Today's video, we're going to be going to season 2, because I want to talk about Zach Storch. He is a 21-year-old fantasy writer and top 25 World of Warcraft player. Now before I start the video, please do not harass anyone in this video. This video is just for fun and I'm just making jokes. So without further delay, grab your lightsaber and anime body pillow as we dive into this together. The first episode, we meet the nerds.
That's a furry one. Indeed.
No f***ing way he just got called out that fast. That is insane. I think at that point I just leave.
He's very happy to be here. All right.
There he is, the savior of the show.
Being a nerd is about passion. Being a nerd is like a way of life because the greatest people throughout all of history, the greatest people were nerds.
Oh, we're gonna have fun today. So a bit later into the episode, Zach is picked to be the team leader. I wonder how this will go. Zach and his teammates come up with the name, Midas Touch Attack.
The Midas.
Touch!
Attack!
They have to compete with the Titans of Rigel. In episode 2, we get our first nerd war. The challenge is they have to craft a science fair volcano. They're not only being judged from the science, but the creative part as well. My favorite part of this episode is one of the judges, Blake Margraf, a 19-year-old, votes for the Titans, and this is Zach's reaction.
The kid votes for the other team. Big surprise. A 19-year-old kid is not a developed brain. How old are you? I'm 21.
Team Midas Touch Attack has lost the nerd war, so they have to pick 2 of their team members to go into the nerd off.
Shots? Do you take shots?
Only if you teach me.
Is this W Riz? So Zach is 21, but hasn't touched alcohol much. So instead of taking it slow, he decides to take shots right away.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'd figured as much. So Zach wants to know who Mary is going to pick for the nerd off.
Nicole, it's you.
Yeah, I'm like pinned against the fridge right now. I didn't know tequila would do this.
I am extremely uncomfortable right now. If I was her, I would have just turned around so fast. She has the patience of a saint. So the next day, Zach is voted for the nerd off, and we see him go off on his own teammates. You know, the team leader. Zach didn't help much during the volcano project, and is bumping heads with another teammate named Josh. The Titans all voted for Josh to go to the nerd off.
Right now, I'm going into this nerd off today. I'm going to defeat whoever is in there, and then I'm going to vote myself for the next one and defeat the next person again. I am through with everything.
I think they know who the hardest working player in this team is.
You know, it was this clip alone that made me want to make this video, because we all know someone like this.
Josh, as much as I like you, and by the way, so subscribing to you.
You know, at that point, all is forgiven. Subscribe to my channel? Heck yes. By the way, you should subscribe.
Subscribing to you, because I know every Pokemon you know.
What's with the soy point face?
Is that Wojak?
Really, really glad I'm on this team. Love you guys. Oh my. Kind of want to take this shirt off now and burn it.
I don't even want to imagine being in this situation. So Zach and Josh have to perform an alien autopsy for the nerd off. Oh lordy, he locked the f*** in. Oh nice, we got some A-Lamaus. At one point during the nerd off, Zach picks the wrong organ and starts whining.
This is so stupid. This is just so stupid. Look at him go.
Stop whining.
Guys, I just realized, is this Toxic Yaoi?
Go.
Gosh, no. Shut up. It's not fair. Be quiet in this one.
You know, even if Zach wins, his teammates don't respect him at all, so they're just gonna keep voting him off for these nerd off. So yeah, Zach wins. Getting a little uncomfortable here.
I don't like seeing people go, especially people who are good people. And Zach isn't a good person.
Whoever edits this show is fucking evil, but a genius at the same time. In the next episode, the next Nerd War, the team has to do live action role playing, or LARPing for short. There is still some tension with Zach and his team.
If you push me away from this team, I will not be a member of it. I will drive us into the ground and systematically destroy each and every one of you.
Zach!
This is the team leader.
Trying to listen
I
and
am going
understand.
to go work on the project that is required to win this competition because
All right,
if they
go
do not,
for it.
I'm taking you down today.
What? So the game host got the team's pizza, and this shit is hilarious.
Few seconds.
I love my team and they're so much fun.
Anyways, it's time for LARPing, and Midas Touch Attack goes first.
I am Magnus, and my blade shall taste your flesh. Take this, and another, and another.
I think that was a low intimidation roll. So once again, Midas Touch Attack loses, and 2 more members are going to the Nerd Off.
I don't know why my team would vote me into the nerd off, but I know that they're going to. Because there's some reason my team hates me because they're all idiots.
Yeah, I'm sure that's the reason why. I can't imagine any other reason.
I will be dismantling this team because I know I don't have your vote. I know I don't have her vote. Whoa! So my plan instead is to completely annihilate every single one of you because I'm through with it. What the happened?
Honestly, me too. Zach and Mary get voted into the Nerd Off. The challenge is Battle Hammer, a turn-based strategic war game. Zach and Mary will be allowed 1 advisor to help them with the board. Zach tries to ask the Titans for help, and no one wants to help him. It's not until he apologizes that Chris decides to help. So during the Nerd Off, you're allowed to get help from your advisor, but Zach is not using Chris at all. Other than a close game, there's not really much to talk about. I mean, Zach wins, and I love how everyone is upset just like when Josh lost.
Victory for somebody!
In episode 4, the next Nerd War challenge is to build 4 robots that will play dodgeball.
Mine's heavy. Crap.
Bazinga!
You know I had to show this clip. It's just too good. Due to imbalance between teams, Katie is moved to the Midas Touch Attack team. Katie is an expert on robotics, so she should take lead on this.
Make it harder to hit. But
No, I have no aim, apparently.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
I was trying to hit the corner of the table.
I mean, are you really surprised?
You're up! Ow, there goes my control hand, dude. Careful.
It's like a twig. It's the last round. Zach is the last hope for Team Midas. He's always saying he's the best, so this should be easy for him.
What did I just do? It's stuck. What the? What the hell? Yeah! Are you freaking? Jack is just giving me his whole usual, you're growing as a person and all this bull. But guess what, Jack? I've grown a lot as a person. It's not because of you.
Yeah, no, you've been pretty static as a person. Time for the next Nerd Off. It's Zach and Nicole. The challenge is Zombie Nerd Pluck. It's Kerpluck or Jenga with balls.
Hey, this is what I was trying to explain to you. Now all your showboating got you this. You've lost me as a friend completely.
I love it when he rages. But in the end, Zach has won the Nerd Off. We're gonna skip episode 5, considering that Zach doesn't really do much in that episode. In episode 6, Chris starts to play mental games with Zach, and it's just too easy.
And you want one of our members to come over to your team. So you're saying we should get punished for
No,
winning.
I didn't actually say that. I said I thought that was unfair. Stop putting words in my mouth. It seems to be a habit of yours to put words in other people's mouths because you think you're superior to others, and I'm sick of it. You realize that?
The challenge in this episode is a laser maze. The teens practice with string, and Chris and Zach go at it again.
What if we build a maze that's on
Just shut up.
this side of your maze?
Just shut up, Chris.
and on
Just
the
shut up.
Other...
During the Nerd War, with a surprising twist, Team Midas touch attack actually wins for once. It's kind of unfortunate that Jack and Zach are the only two team members left to enjoy the reward from the challenge. Imagine being in Team Midas and losing so many nerd wars, and that Zach's the one who gets to enjoy the rewards. Seems a little unfair.
Great job.
Woo. Rah!
In episode 7, the nerd war in this episode is Nerdio Kart. They're going to be racing actual Tron karts. At this point, there are only 5 nerds left, so the teams have been dissolved. And did I mention that Zach's never driven a car before? So I want you to take a wild guess how he's gonna do in this challenge.
Oh, this is stupid. I don't know what I'm doing at all. Damn it!
This is how I feel turning around in Halo. So Zach gets 4th place and just roll the clip.
It's utterly unfair. Right at the beginning of the race, Xander hits me and sends me into a tailspin. Immediately afterwards, Kayla hits me. After that, Brian hits me. This is just stupid. Jack hits me and throws me into a wall. I was rear-ended by Xander. Kayla hits me a second time, and as she goes by, I hear her laughing. What the hell?
Wah, wah, wah. So Zach and Jack are chosen for the Nerd Off. The challenge they'll have to do is called Angry Nerds. They need to create a miniature structure when scaled up to life size will be able to withstand angry nerd projectiles. So basically Angry Birds. Zach is by himself and talking to a stuffed animal named Tweely, a character from the Adventure Quest series. It's time for the Nerd Off, and they decide who goes first with rock, paper, scissors. And Zach throughout the entire show has always won at rock, paper, scissors. It's quite impressive.
Little intimidation. Then I just look kind of deranged when I do that for too long.
Took the words right out of my mouth. I guess he's Prince now. It's been fun, guys. And so, after 7 episodes, Zach has finally lost the Nerd Off. Surprisingly, he didn't freak out. It seems like he learned something after all.
Don't forget to be awesome.
Don't forget
Hear me?
awesome.
Forget to be DFTBA.
DFTBA.
Our hero's journey is finally at an end. And honestly, I'm so surprised that he made it this far. He was so close to the final 4, but victory could never be his. Even though Zach was a horrible teammate and often a sore loser, it's sad to see him go. I mean, he was the reason I watched the show. In a way, it was nice to see him grow from episode 1 to now. During the show, I found myself feeling bad for Zach. He was by himself most of the time, but he never really reached out to the others. I think we can all learn something from Zach, that we can learn to grow as a person.
Victory versus Bobby!
You thought we were done? Yeah, so did I. The show decides to do a little twist by bringing back all the banished nerds back into the show. The last 2 nerds need to convince the banished nerds to help them win against the Nerdliminator.
Whoever becomes king of the nerds.
Tomorrow, it's game time. But tonight is our...
I love that Zach is the only one with water since he doesn't deal with alcohol that well. So the final Nerd Off happens, and spoiler warning, Kayla is crowned as the king of nerds. I love how disappointed Zach looks. I think it's because he wanted his friend Jack to win, since Jack was able to be somewhat friends with Zach. That or Zach just wanted the crown for himself. I actually liked watching the show, and I do plan on watching the other seasons after this. I actually tried to find out what Zach is doing today, and I was able to find their Twitter, and I believe Zach goes by they them, based on their Twitter bio. I looked at some of their tweets, and one just made me sick to my stomach. This one was in 2021, when people were harassing Zach over the show, which is completely insane to me. Do people not realize that maybe Zach was playing a character for the show? Maybe they were just amplifying their personality for the show? Or maybe Zach actually acted like this and grew as a person years later. There's just no need to send them death threats. That's ridiculous. Zach hasn't uploaded on YouTube in 2 years, but they do have a website for their book. I might check it out. So yeah, Zach, wherever you are today, I hope you're doing good, and I hope you're still nerding on to this day. Thank you guys for watching the video. I really appreciate it. Please support the channel by sharing the video, liking, and subscribing. Let me know down in the comments if you watched the show and your thoughts on it. I'd love to read your comments. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.
At the